Hello and welcome to UK Vegan Family Live. My name's Adam.
I'm Daniela. You know who we are by now, surely.
Surely to God, you know who we are.
So, who's on with us tonight then, Ad?
We have got grumpy vegan Grandad in the studio with us at the moment. But before we bring him in, I think we're going to show you some of his profiles.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know who Grumpy Vegan Grandad is, we're going to show you his YouTube and his Instagram account. And Grumpy Vegan Grandad, also known as Dan Shepherd, was also on BBC Veganville. We watched Veganville in January, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And that's what prompted us to go and find...
Check him out.
Yeah, Dan Shepherd. So this is his YouTube channel.
He recently got to 1,000 subs as well.
Congratulations.
And he's got some great videos, guys.
It's gone.
You'll have a real laugh as well.
That is a good one. I love that one. And there's... Oh, where is it? There's Farmer Schmackdonald. That's also a classic. Right, and this is his Instagram. We invite you to go and check both of the channels out.
Yeah, go on, guys. Yeah, he's got some really good stuff on there. He's always eating lots of lovely things as well.
He's got some great, what do they call them? Headshots? Hot shots? Sorry, something
Hot shots.
Headshots, yeah. Good studio. He's always constantly filming something. So, yeah.
Should we bring him in?
Yeah, I think we will.
And then he can introduce himself to the clan then, can't he?
So, hello and welcome.
Oh, hello. Hello.
What are you doing there?
I was just looking at the wallpaper board and looking around, and I'm grumpy, aren't I? That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm grumpy, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Not really. Thanks for that great introduction. Yeah, thank you very much for that.
It's got to be done.
Yeah. So, folks, yeah, what do you want to know? Hit me with your hardest questions.
Wow, nobody asked any questions yet. Let us ask some. But firstly, we want to know, tell us your story. How did you go vegan? Because I'm not sure we necessarily know your vegan journey.
Well, it is a long and winding road that I took. What happened was I had a bit of an epiphany, I think they call it, about 7 years ago. And I was looking at my son, who would have been 11 years old then. And I was looking at my age, and I was like 46 years old or something. And I'm thinking, my God, when he's about 25 and in his prime, I'm going to be this 60-year-old guy. And when I've looked at my parents and other people's parents, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be a burden on him when he's in his prime. I want him to be able to leave me and go and sort off and do what he wants, go around the world, do anything he wants. So it just got me thinking about my own existence, and I started looking at my health, because I spent my life partying. I didn't get married until I was 32, and up until that point, I was just all over town. Everybody knew my name when I walked in a bar, and I was the last one to leave, the first one there. Everything else that went with it, with living in Manchester during the Hacienda period and all that stuff. So you can imagine what pharmaceuticals did cross the threshold every now and again. So, yeah, I started thinking this shit's going to come back and bite me. So I started looking at what I could do to improve my health. And I looked at this thing about a guy who lost a shitload of weight, juicing. I can't remember what the name of it. It was an American documentary, and it was about him just like having juices instead of food. So I looked at buying a juicer, and I bought a slow juicer, which means it doesn't grind it up. It slowly squeezes the food. It's like a spiral, and you put whatever in. So I started juicing vegetables and fruit. And when I say anything, I put anything in it. I put chili peppers in it and all sorts. And after about a month, I'd say, I just noticed just some strange things happening. Like, I normally shave my head maybe once every 4 weeks. I was doing it twice. My fingernails were constantly growing. I felt better. I didn't have my mid-afternoon sort of lull where I felt a bit tired, and I thought, wow. So I started studying the plants that I was juicing, the vegetables, looking, and all I was doing was Googling the health benefits of cucumber, the health benefits of strawberries. And it was amazing what I found out. Little wind on a little bit later from that, and I started working for BT Openreach as an engineer, and I was paired up with this girl called Jane, and her other half had been plant-based for a while, and I talked about my diet and everything, and how I was cutting stuff out, and she said, oh, have a look at this book, and it was a book by the Cro-Mags lead singer. It's a punk band from back in the day called the Cro-Mags, and it was a guy called John Joseph. He's still going now. And he wrote a book called Meat is for Pussies. You can still get it. And it wasn't the hippie tie-dye sandal-wearing book. It was all about the pharmaceutical industry, the doctors, how they go hand in hand with the meat industry. Oh, yeah. And it was all about that. And this guy is like, he's nearing 60 now. But at the time when I got his book, he was in his early 50s, as I am now. And he's been doing Ironman triathlons. I'm beating kids half his age, and I'm thinking, right, okay. Mm-hmm. So by this point, I'd gone pescatarian, and then I thought, right, I'm going to go vegan. What I thought was vegan, it was plant-based, but I thought was going vegan, so I went vegan. And that's important, that actually, because in my head I was vegan. Then I started Googling vegan, and I'll tell you, I went vegan first. It was a Friday night. I made spaghetti bolognese. I always eat too much. I got this big pile of spaghetti bolognese with mincemeat, and I ate it all. And I thought to myself, how do I feel now? And I felt lethargic, tired, sweaty, horrible. The Saturday and Sunday, I was going to go vegan, and I've never gone back from that weekend. I never went back. So this vegan thing, I mean, this is why I don't like people say splitting plant-based and vegan up too much. I don't like people saying, no, you're not vegan, you're plant-based, you're not this and that. Because what happens is, if in your head you're vegan, then you start looking at vegan stuff, then you will come across the animals. Mm. And it was that point when I first flicked on Forks Over Knives and then Earthlings that I sort of realized, wow, I didn't realize that I was doing this to the animals. I did not realize I was doing this. Yeah. And that just reinforced my veganism even more. And then I started looking into it. And it was a bit of a windy road, but I've never spoken to a vegan. Okay. I've never Googled vegan before. I've never looked at vegan videos before. If a vegan had come up to me during that period where I was juicing, because at that point I was open to healing with vegetables and fruit, I probably would have listened and gone down the same road. But yeah, that's my story. I'm sorry it's a bit elongated, but I had to emphasize that it was plant-based lifestyle that I sort of sent me that way.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. I think I've only heard snippets of your story before, so it's good to get that. Should we see who's in the house, and then I'm going to ask you some more questions on that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Right, so we got Zactivist.
They're going to think we forgot them.
We got I'm Easy Vegan. Hi, Aaron. We got Angharrad's Life.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Angharrad. Where's my sweets? Where's my sweets that you promised me?
He loves sweets.
Anti-vegan nonsense. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Vegan King. Hi. I hope you don't get timed out on this stream by a toddler.
Hi, Vegan King. Hi, Vegan King.
A naughty toddler. Yeah, we did hear about that. We've got.
Oh, hello. I think I've seen you in Dan's chat, before. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. We have Bobby.
Oh, there she is.
We've got Helen. Hello, Helen.
There's quite a few
Chris
people in.
Grant. We got Katie Malkin in. Earthling Fair Cuisine.
Oh, Anti-Vegan Nonsense has just said Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. That was the film I watched about the guy juicing. You need to watch that. It's interesting.
Oh, and Family 4's in there as
Family
well.
4. I'm trying to. Chris Grant. Hello, Chris. Our man from Brum.
It's not Halloween yet, Dan.
No,
This is what carnivores look like after they've been 3 weeks on the carnivore diet.
I'm just clicking through the Earthling Fair cuisine. Hello.
Oh, hello, Earthling Fair Cuisine. She's one of our new subscribers.
Doing well.
Any more, Helen? Hello, Helen. I think that's about it. I haven't seen anyone else.
Okay.
Family 4, there you are.
There they
Hello.
are. Okay. So
Right then.
just going back to when you found out about the animals, Dan.
Yes.
How did that make you feel when you found out about these industries?
Right. So I knew about the meat industry because I actually went. We had in Royton, where I sort of grew up. It's only a mile down the road. We had a slaughterhouse bang in the centre of Royton. So you had the slaughterhouse, and then a 3-minute walk was the whole centre of Royton, and the whole town used to stink of rotting flesh. And I used to go there and get my bullseyes for biology at school. And also they featured on the first ever TV documentary on slaughterhouses that showed the inside of a slaughterhouse, believe it or not. And this caused them to shut down. They got death threats. This was 2000, around about that time. And they actually shut down because they appeared on TV and showed everything. I forgot all about that, yeah. So I knew about the meat industry. I knew I wasn't behind the door as far as the animals. But again, because there's what's it called when you're not sort of, you're separated from it?
Begins with C.
Cognitive dissonance. I've got I didn't really connect it. I just thought that happens, this happens, there's been meat. Dairy, I thought that cows produce milk because they ate grass and they had to be milked. Otherwise they'll be uncomfortable or die. The egg industry, it's just chickens in a barn that lay eggs. What's wrong with that? Fish don't feel anything, so what's wrong with that? So once I started realizing that this is all bullshit that's been pushed onto me, because I consider myself a free thinker, and I consider myself not brainwashed. But I got angry because I thought I've been bullshitted by my parents, my government, my doctor, my society, the society I live in. I've been bullshitted by him. I've been conditioned, and it was more anger at the bullshit that had been pushed to me. And it was because I'm, you know what I mean. It's when it comes to the animals, and I sort of knew what went on, but again, it's just that you push it to one side, you compartmentalize it, don't you? You sort of push that into this and think, right, okay, we'll keep that there and we won't look at that while we're eating this.
Yes.
And that's what we tend to do. So I think anger, that the fact that I've been brainwashed was the first reaction.
It's interesting you say brainwashed, because that's what we get told we're doing to our son, is brainwashing him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Because you're not how can you be brainwashed? It's like, something, it's just, it really annoys me that, because if I say anything to somebody out there who's got like a 16 stone 8-year-old kid waddling up to McDonald's, and I say, you're abusing that child, you brainwashed him into, I'd get run out of town with pitchforks and torches, and it's absolute. Brainwashing is not omitting stuff out of your diet. That's all you're doing, omitting certain things out of your diet that are harmful. So how can that be brainwashing? When you put a child in a crib and put an apple and a rabbit in the crib, this is Gary Rosky, the child's going to eat the apple and play with the rabbit. He says, I'll give you $500 if the child grabs the rabbit, rips its neck open and starts eating it. You know what I mean? We're born vegan. So we can only learn to eat meat if we're brainwashed into eating meat. It's not natural behavior. We don't see roadkill and then think, oh God, my mouth's watering, that looks delicious. It's disgusting. We're disgusted. If we see an animal being killed, whether it's for meat or not, if we saw that act, we'd be disgusted. We want to help. We don't want to murder or kill things. So it's not a natural behavior. So you're teaching children an unnatural behavior. It's not natural. It's like racism. You're not racist until you're taught to be racist. You've got to be taught it, because you don't see colour. You'll see a child that's brown and think, oh, there's a brown child, but he's great. He's my mate. That's it. But when someone tells you they're here taking our jobs, they're here, they shouldn't be here. They're trying to get us all to go Muslim, or they're trying to take over the country. That's brainwashing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Completely different.
It's true. Yeah, it's an awakening from the brainwashing, I believe. Yeah, I believe that too.
Of course it is. Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of it,
I can remember.
I've noticed.
Mine was it Forks Over Knives?
What's that?
What made me go vegan?
I think it was Earthlings, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know, because I can remember sat eating a beef burger.
Oh yeah.
And I think we watched Forks Over Knives, and I literally was just like,
yeah, it was when we were clearing everything else.
I don't want this anymore. And I put it in the kitchen, and that was it. Next day, that was it. I was done.
Yeah.
Because that's what.
What I've noticed, Dan, especially with Jack only being in like nursery, is that it seems to be that they normalise happy farm animals.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you agree, but that's how it comes across. There's lots of nursery rhymes about these happy farm animals, and that's what kids think, is that they're happy farm animals when we know they're not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if anybody's seen my Fisher Price toy review of Farmer's McDonald, go and have a look at it. And there you've got this farm with all these happy little farmer kids and all that, and these smiley little model cows. And this is for 2 and 3 year old kids, you know. And you're not going to say to a 2 or 3 year old kid, right, get the vibrator, stick it up the bull's ass, make him come. I'm sorry, but if you tell the child the truth, that's what's going to happen. They should have a little vibrator and a little. Oh man, I'm not going down that route. Sorry.
No,
this is a child's. You're not 18 plus. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, how misinformation it is. It's like that's not what it's all about. What you need is like 30,000 little toy chickens, and then you've got to ram them into the frigging barn. You know. That's the reality, not this smiley, happy thing. Old MacDonald had a farm, you know. Yeah. It's like it's all there. It's all there to keep us sort of yeah. We want the money. We want the money. We want the cash. So we'll paint this picture. We'll paint this picture for you of a happy farm, with all these happy animals that are free roaming. But you only see that when you drive past in the car, and people. You see, people only travel around out of town when it's sunny and warm and beautiful. Yeah. So, of course, you're gonna see the cows in the field munching on grass. You're gonna see the sheep all just munching away, and it's all idyllic. But drive past in winter, you won't see any in the field. What you'll have to do then is get out your car, walk into the barn, and see them all crammed in and all eating imported soya from some other country. You know, it's just like really good at it. They're really good at painting this picture, definitely.
Yeah, it is. And I was talking to the nursery staff the one time about it, and she was like, "Look, I know you think that meat is really bad for you." I said, "It's not what I've said. I've said my son does not eat animals. He knows what goes on in the animal industry, and you need to be careful when I think it was Christmas time, as when you're talking about Christmas dinner and you're talking about people eating turkey.
Oh, don't set me off on Christmas.
Really upsetting." And she was like, "But my son loves pigs. He's obsessed with pigs." And I was just like, "But it's not the same. Jack doesn't, he sees a pig as a sentient being. He doesn't see it as anything else.
Like he sees a puppy, like he sees,
Yeah.
And it's that, yeah, it's completely different. I mean, I wondered how a young child like yours would see the farm animals and see them. But I think even people who feed the kids meat, those children would still see these animals as friends.
Yeah, they
I
do.
don't think this sort of separation starts kicking in until they're capable of like realizing what it's actually all about. I mean, I'm on a mission to turn my granddaughter vegan, and she still doesn't understand it yet. She's saying the word. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm on a winner because she's saying vegan. Is this vegan, Grandad? Vegan, vegan. As long as that word's in her head, then I'm already halfway there. Now all I've got to do is,
How old is she, Dan?
I think she goes to start school this year, so she'll be 4. But you know, it's just one of those things. She will realize.
I think some kids, they tend to have that awakening where they go, "What is that? What actually is this actually a chicken that I'm eating?" And then I think there's some kids that perhaps don't ask.
Yeah. I mean, I've just seen something there. Helen Hall has just said there are many Easter greeting cards with cute lambs and chicks on them.
I hate Easter.
Yeah, I mean, apart from this, you know, with all the cute lambs and chicks on them, because I mean, Easter is spring, in it, so it's the spring lambs, and you see all these spring lambs about, and that again is another euphoric sort of thing for everyone to see. Oh, look at the lambs. Yeah. But then you turn around to them and say, well, all them beautiful lambs, they're going to grab hold of them, they're going to get a big fucking knife and they're going to hack the frigging legs off, and then you're going to have it for your Sunday dinner. It's like, it's not so idyllic then, is it, really? It's sort of, it's gruesome. It's a gruesome thought. I used to shout mint sauce when I saw the wagons going past with the lambs on, you know, and it's like, was I really that disconnected from reality? God.
I think it's easy to not see it the way we do now because of what you've said, the conditioning. Yeah. It's so easy.
But you see, the thing is as well is the companies are really good at marketing stuff to us. Now, Easter is a prime example, right? So Mr. Cadbury, right, thought, right, okay, it's Easter, right, which is a religious festival apparently about Jesus dying and coming back alive and all that stuff. And Mr. Cadbury got his mate over and he said, right, listen, what we can do is we can get these chocolate eggs. And this mate said, well, what are you going to put in them? Nothing. We'll just make a hollow. We can use just one little piece of chocolate and make this massive egg. And they'll all buy it. And they said, the public aren't that stupid. They won't buy a hollow chocolate egg with less chocolate than a chocolate bar. Watch. We'll put it in a big box and put all these bright colours on it. Throw them out there. And everyone goes mad for Easter eggs. It's like, what the fuck? You know, what the hell? It's the same with everything now. As soon as the big companies get hold of it and market it to us, we start the Laughing Cow advert. It's like we feel guilty for not joining in. You know, like this next month now, October, right? When I was a teen, we'd be collecting bonfire wood, right? And we'd be going around with a pretend Guy Fawkes, you know, made out of old clothes and stuff. And we'd be singing songs at people's doors and collecting money for fireworks, right? That's what we used to do in the 70s and 80s, yeah? But now it's been overshadowed by trick or treat, which is an American concept. And why is trick or treat become so prevalent in a foreign country from its origin, right? I'll tell you why. Because they can make more money out of it. They sell shitloads of sweets. They sell costumes. You know, bonfire night was self-sufficient, but
yeah, yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? They're great at marketing stuff to us. Like Valentine's Day, it's like we now buy all these cards and we feel guilty if we don't. It's like really good, and we fall for it. We are dumb. We are dumb. As consumers, we are dumb. We fall for everything.
Yeah, we do. We do, don't we?
We do, don't we? I feel like being a Scouser now. We do, don't. We do, don't. So
Just going back a little bit, because obviously it's been the last 7 years, isn't it, that you've been vegan?
No, 5.
5, sorry.
I started the journey 7 years ago.
Do you remember any time where your kids ever questioned you about what's this that I'm eating?
Well, the thing was, my son is 19 this year, so 5 years ago he would have been 14. No, nobody's
too old then, really, isn't he?
Yeah. They're not. He wasn't a kid, you know, but there is relevance to it, even though he's not an older. He's older than, you know, obviously your kids and what you sort of talk about on your channel. But your son is going to reach that age as well eventually. Yeah. Now, what's happening with my son at the moment, and for the last few years, is the macho hormones thing going through his body and all his mates. And I know some of his mates take the piss out of me. And I know he might get stick because of me, because it's all this again. It's marketed by the conglomerates. It's macho. Any barbecue, a man has got to be there in front of the barbecue, you know, and it's marketed to be a macho thing. So for some reason in his head, is whether he wants to rebel against me, I don't know, or whether he finds, I don't know, but I know that he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to look at it. I asked him to watch Game Changers with me. He wouldn't watch it. He won't watch it because he knows. Mm-hmm. That's the key. He won't try. He used to come home when I first went vegan. He was 13, 14. He used to come home with like a little bright fluorescent green dustbin, right? And he said, try one of these, Dad. And I pulled this sweet, I put it in my mouth. It was the sourest thing in my life. My face screwed up, and it was like a toxic bin or something, a toxic bin thing. Yeah, toxic waste, right? It, yeah. So I had that, right? I give him some vegan sweet or something like that. I think it was fruit. I think it was strawberries. I don't know what it was. It was something really sweet. And I gave it him, and he spat it out and said, it's disgusting, that, Dad. You know, yeah, he's eating toxic waste that tastes like fucking toxic waste, you know? So, yeah, he's deliberately not joining the journey. He's deliberately not, for whatever reasons, I don't know. He's got eczema, he's got asthma.
Oh, bless him.
He's got his sprays that he uses. My stepdaughter has given him these 3 special creams that will get rid of spots. And I'm like, son, right? Spots, when they're there on your face at the last part of the journey, I said, it's underneath where the spots start. Your spot will go within 3 days anyway. This is why all these adverts for spot creams are bullshit. Get rid of your spot in 3 days. Well, they go in 3 days anyway. And then another one comes up. I said, just try stopping dairy for a month and see what happens. Nope. He'd rather take the medication, right? He'd rather get the spots and put this shit on his face that doesn't work than try it. And I'm just banging my head against the wall. So I've just give up. I'm not asked. Let him wheeze, right? Let him wheeze. Let him erupt. I had acne till I was 28. I used to drink 3-4 pints of milk a day, right? I spent hours and hours and hours with the doctors, and he'd try all sorts. Put this on your face, put this on your face, put this on your face. Nothing worked, because obviously it can't work. Nothing gets rid of spots on your face that you put on. It's got to come from within. So, yeah. So that's it. That's my family sort of relationship at the moment, is that I'm the only vegan in the house.
So what?
That must be tough.
Yeah, that must be, because obviously before I went vegan, I was the only person, and apart from Jack, but he wasn't really old enough. I've always been the only vegetarian in this house. You know, so
well,
I can't imagine what that's like, being the only vegan.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's gradually got worse over time, because I did spend some time in an establishment where meat was processed, which I can't go into.
Okay.
And I did see things And those things that I saw when I came home, I sort of they were pigs, and so then any sort of pork products in the house, it's like, but they have bacon, they have sausages, and over time it slowly got worse because like it was only the other day my wife was cooking sausages in the frying pan, and I'm not joking, I had to leave the house because it actually started making me feel sick now. The smell of it started I could smell fat, I could smell, and whether it was like flashbacks to what I'd done previous, I don't know, but yeah, it is starting to affect me now. But I'm trying my best. I mean, don't get me wrong, my family are lovely. They will come back, find me vegan products. I got bought a vegan cake, some vegan cakes, and some food from a vegan takeaway for Father's Day. They do try and bring stuff back for me, but it's one of those. It is, but it's just not. Someone's just said, "Vegan, oh, do you cook separate dinners?" Yes, I do.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is because I work oddball shifts with me driving, I normally do all the cooking for myself. I'm just a separate entity. I'm like a separate person in my house. So I don't eat with my family. I just come home, make what I want to eat. I've got my own pans now. I'm just a little bit nervy about sharing chopping boards because the chopping boards there, it's a wooden one, and I don't know what they're doing, but I've warned them all, do not touch my pans. Them are mine. Do not use them. I don't want any of that garbage. But there's plates, there's knives and forks. All this goes through my mind all the time. It's not an easy situation, but you can cope with it. You know, obviously we share the fridge. So yeah, come live with us, Grumpy. Anybody else? Anybody want to adopt me? This man lives in a house full of meat eaters. He sees murder and torture every day. Adopt him before he jumps off the bridge over the M62. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It is. I wish I could divorce whole families, but Daddy, do your family ask you not to brainwash your granddaughter? I'm sick of going over it and over it and over it and over it. And my wife, I mean, I've said this before about sweets. I said, why are you giving us sweets? And my wife's like, well, why not? Oh, that's what we do. Yeah, I know, but the minute you give her sweets, that's the minute she finds broccoli bitter. She finds all the vegetables bitter. They don't like fruits because they're not sweet enough. Blow me. She doesn't like all this good stuff now. Suddenly gone off it because you've got this mega sweet that gives them a cocaine kick in the head, and it's like I'm just banging my head against the wall. So it's just a matter of lead by example. That's all I can do is just lead by example. I'm fit. I'm running around like a 25-year-old. I've just done 14k, 14k, nearly 9 miles. Yes. I'm 53 for God's sake, and I'm running 9 miles. I'm going to the gym. My mind's clear. I'm always doing something, you know. I very rarely sit down there and watch that thing behind me.
And you work long shifts as well, don't you? And
I drive wagons. And it's not one of the easiest jobs in the world because a lot of other people drive stupidly and think that you can stop 30 tons in a couple of meters. And I'm driving I call it driving on the cheeks of my arse, which means I'm always tense because it's just absolutely crazy out there on the road. So yeah, it does take its toll on you. But that's another thing, lunches. Mia, oh, what was that then?
Right.
You've skipped past it, Az.
Sorry, that's why I went to click on.
Oh, okay.
I just saw something about Mia.
Yeah.
I live the same with my husband. I make him eat vegan for 6 days, but then Sunday comes, he has to grill something. Well, I don't cope with Christmas. God, you're firing these questions at me, Adam.
Sorry. I went to click it off, and someone posted something, so it shot up, and then I clicked on the next one instead.
Right. So when Sunday comes, he has to grill something. But have you ever thought of get some of those? What they called it? I always forget the name. I did it on my video.
Vivera.
Beyond sausages.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, the Richmonds.
Right. Earthling Fur Cuisine. Get the Beyond sausages. I think they sell them at the big Tesco's. Right. They are expensive. They're £4.50 for 2. Yeah. You can put them on the scanner as an apple. No. Don't do that. No, that's stealing. I keep getting mixed up. So buy those sausages and just put them in a different wrapper. Put them in a real sausage wrapper and let him grill them. He will not know the difference. Believe me, he will not know the difference. And then you've got him.
For me, when you've cooked those sausages, they smell like the ones he used to eat. And
The Richmonds.
Any of those types of sausages, I'm like, bleh,
So the Richmonds are good as well.
I won't eat them.
I like them.
I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind stuff. How do you cope with Christmas? I just go along. We normally go to my brother's and they have a vegan option for me. I usually drink too much, spew up, and then go home.
That's Christmas.
Yeah, that's Christmas for me. But to be honest with you, I'm now at that point where I want to go away for Christmas. I want to go to Tenerife, and then on Christmas Day, I want to sit on the beach, eat some vegan food, and forget about it all, because Christmas is one of the biggest, most absolute load of absolute beep icks that I've ever known in my life. It's keeping up with the Joneses. My kid's got all these presents. Oh, mine's got all these presents. It isolates the poor. It puts people on their own. It's a religious festival, and no frigger goes to frigging church. All the churches shutting down. It's a religious festival. It's been took over. Father Christmas is red because of Coca-Cola. He used to be green.
Yep.
Mm.
You know, it's like all these toy manufacturers are rubbing their hands. Again, it's just like Easter. It's like, let's just make really crap toys that break as soon as you pull them out of the box. You know what I mean? And then you've got all these birds. For some reason, people want to eat turkeys at Christmas. Why? Why do you want to eat a lovely bird like a turkey? It's just ridiculous. So as far as I'm concerned, Christmas can go screw itself. I'm not even going to spend any money on anybody. I'm not even going to buy presents this year. I'm going to be really grumpy. I'm going to be grumpy vegan Grinch this Christmas if I don't get away. I'm going anyway. I'm just going. I'm gone. I'm just booking it and going. I don't care. I'll isolate for 2 weeks when I come back. Fucking Christmas. Sorry.
What are you looking for?
So what I don't understand is that Christianity has a patron saint for animals. Saint Francis, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Saint Francis of Assisi. Yeah.
So
yeah.
How can you have a patron saint of animals, but yet
that's a very interesting. Yeah,
I don't want to get into it, but yeah,
that would be a long discussion, I think. But that's
Family 4 Explorer said vegan Christmas getaway. Somebody, right? Any entrepreneurs out there, right? Please make something where vegans, lonely vegans like me, can come and have a vegan Christmas, please, and I can leave my family to do what they want to do.
Our door's always open.
I'll come to yours for Christmas.
Bloody not be.
And I'll tell you what, Christmas last year was Adam's first Christmas without any animal products.
It was ace.
Didn't we have a good Christmas?
Oh, we made something from.
I made aubergine.
Oh, what a daddy long legs.
I don't call them pigs in blankets. I've never called them that. I think I called them sausages in blankets or something like that. I did it with aubergine as like the bacon, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
really
yeah. What's Adam doing? Oh,
saving a daddy long legs.
Long legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Christmas is. It's just like it's an excuse to go mad on murder, isn't it? Really, when you look at it, when you look at the reality of what Christmas is, it's just yeah, we can go and kill more shit now. Wow. It's just ridiculous.
Everybody stocks up, don't they, at Christmas? You know, they've already got the birds in the freezers. I've already seen them. It's just crazy. It's just, there is such a dark side to Christmas that people don't see it, do they?
And I don't see, that's another brainwashing thing that I broke free from as well, was the religious brainwashing. And I'm sorry if anybody's religious on the feed, but I felt I'd been brainwashed, because if there's one God and he covers all religions, why was I initiated and brainwashed into going to a particular one? I think they should leave religion and keep it away from children until they're old enough to make an informed decision, 13, 14 years old, and then say, right, what religion would you like to choose? But again, religion nowadays, most of it is all about getting into schools, getting into the best schools. It's nothing to do with faith and all that stuff. They send them to religious schools so they can get them into a certain religious church, so they can get them into the religious school because they've got to attend. And it's like, again, it's like, yeah, I don't like any kind of sort of control or, God, it's amazing. I spent the majority of my life in this state, really. It's mad. And I think it's only because of the internet that my eyes were open to it, because I would never mix in those circles. I would never meet a vegan, really. I mean, I've met a vegan once in my lifetime before I was vegan. I met one vegan and I just laughed and started doing caveman noises and ridiculous shit. Like, oh, I was such an arsehole. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? But
I was too.
Again, it's like that not understanding. What do you mean you don't have meat? You don't have fish either. What about wafer thin ham? You know, it's like, no, ridiculous.
So going back to, I want to finish on being the only vegan in the family. What would be your advice to somebody who is potentially going to go vegan and is the only person in the family? Is there any advice you would give them?
Right. So there's a few dynamics to that, though, aren't there, really? Are they the son, the daughter? Mm-hmm. Are they the mother or the father? And my advice let's go with the parents first, because that's what I become the expert in. If you're a single person who wants to become vegan, as in you're married, but your other half doesn't want to come along with you, or your family won't come along with you, is research it. If you've got to rely on other people for your food, you're screwed, basically. So what I would say to an adult is learn to cook, because you're not going to get very far not being able to cook. It's going to be an impossibility. And research, look at diet, check everything out, and then do it. I want to say do it gradually. I want to say that, but I won't say that because I don't want you to do it gradually. Research it and then do it. Just research it and do it. Find 7 meals that you can cook over 7 days, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, and then just do it. As far as the rest of the family, you'll have to explain to them why you're doing it and what you're doing it for, and then leave it at that. Because once you start being questioned, you might sort of unconvince yourself, if that's possible, of not carrying it through. So just do it yourself. Don't say anything. Don't make a big announcement. Just start cooking vegan meals for yourself. And when they ask you what you're doing, say, I've decided to go vegan. I've seen what they do to animals. I don't want to be part of animal abuse. I'm doing it myself. If you want to come along with me, please. But I'm doing this, and you're not going to change my mind. That's what I do as a parent. As a child, that's a tougher one. And it depends on the age of the child, obviously. And a child ain't going to be cooking on the hob or whatever. But what I would do as a child or a young adult would be find the veganized versions of your favorite meals, get them printed out, and put them in a folder, right? That's the first thing to do. Then find other stuff that you can eat that doesn't need cooking, like, say, cereals, like Weetabix or something like that, shredded wheat, porridge that you can bang in the microwave, sandwiches and stuff like that. find those things so you can sustain yourself, and then sit your parents, guardian, whoever, and sit down and say, look, I'm doing this. I've decided to go vegan. Once they ask you why, show them your documentaries that you've seen, show them the evidence that you've researched that's made you go, turn this way and boycott these products. And then say, look, here's the recipes. Would you make me them? Otherwise, I'm not going to eat, or I'm just going to eat shit. And what else can you do? That's the most you can do. But
I think that's good advice.
It's the only thing I can think of, really, that I would personally do, is because if you're relying on someone else to feed you, what else are you going to do? If you're not allowed to cook, you're not allowed to use ovens, you're not allowed to use the grills, you're not allowed to use whatever. You just have to work around it. But yeah, there should be like a helpline or something like that nowadays, shouldn't there? Really, or like this child line, and
Yes.
it should be like a, I've gone vegan. My mum's going to kill me. What am I going to do?
I'd like to think that a lot of the families out there, like the mums and dads, would be really supportive, like the Family for Explore.
Yeah, definitely, because obviously their children said to them about going vegan, and obviously Lucy looked into it, and she was like, "Oh my goodness," So
it was Lucy the mum.
Yeah.
Lucy's the mum, so Lucy looked into it. See, but not all parents are like that.
I know.
I mean, let's say I'm a meat eater and I've just come in and I've just driven 12 hours in a wagon, and I come in and Tyler says, "Dad, I've gone vegan." I'll be like, "Yes, I know, whatever." You know what I mean? It's like, I need to go to bed, I need to get up.
Yeah.
Some parents aren't like that. Some parents are just go, "What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. You need meat to live. Where are you going to get your protein from?
Yeah.
What about your calcium? What about your vitamins?" And unless you sort of, you've got to educate yourself in those, but you've got to educate yourself. You've got to get the answers. I mean, on my vegan journey, I've always been very, very anti-racist. Very anti-racist. We had a guy touring the Northwest called Tommy Robinson, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was the knight in shining armor for all the white people of the UK, and he used to go to these Muslim court cases, and he fucked up the court cases because he was exposing the people before they'd been tried, and he was going on, well, the Muslims are groomers and all this stuff, but he failed to see that like 95% of paedophiles in prison are middle-class white men. It's like, you could see what he was doing. You could see he was trying to target and build up, and it's just like, it's just a crazy situation. And I just argued against it. And I had all my friends on I'm getting really annoyed because I had all my friends saying, "Oh yeah, he's exposing this," and I looked deeply into it and got facts and figures, and I'm telling them, well, no, actually it's this, it's this. So that's what I was like on Facebook. So when I went vegan and I was getting this stuff fired back at me, I started arguing back, but then people would fire a question at me like, well, that's why we started walking upright. And I think, oh, I can't answer that. So I'd go away, I'd research it, I'd find out that the reason we started walking upright was because we could carry more forage goods in two arms than in one arm, in between the savannas that were opening up in the wooded areas. And then I come back with that answer, and then someone would fire another answer. So I educate myself on every conceivable question, and that's how I did it. That's how I got on Veganville as well. Because of that knowledge, because I just argued with people constantly. But back to my point is educate yourself. And then when you are questioned, people can see, your parents can see that you've looked into this. It's not just because Billy down the road's gone vegan, so you want to do it, or because some pop star or rap star's gone vegan, that's why you want to do it. It's people can see that you've looked into it, so they can't argue that fact then.
Definitely. So if you guys in the chat have any questions for Dan, start sort of firing them through.
Anything you want, nothing. I can answer any question. Any question.
what are we going to do about AV? Has anyone reported them?
Oh, okay.
It is a bit shady what AV are doing.
Okay.
What are we going to do about? What does it mean though? What are we going to do about AV? AV should carry on. There's nothing wrong with AV. There's nothing wrong with AV, right? AV are a brilliant outreach. They're absolutely brilliant. It's the two idiots at the top who think, oh, there's 1.5 million a year on offer, but we won't take that because we don't want to show our books. We don't want to show what we've been spending it on.
Yeah.
That's why all this is kicked off. That's absolutely ridiculous. And if somebody was going to give me £500 a week, because that's what I earn on the wagons. I work 4 or 5 days a week. I get £500 a week. If someone give me £500 a week to go and do a vigil every day down at Tulip, right, I would go and do that because that's my calling. I would love to do that. But if this donor said to me, well, hold on a minute, Danny, can we just have a look at what you're spending this 500 quid on? Yeah, I'm spending it on transfer down there, me breakfast, dinner and lunch when I'm down there. I'm trying to get other people to come down with me, so I'm paying their transfer. Oh, that's fine then. You carry on. Do you need any more? No, I'm fine at the moment, mate. You know? So why aren't they doing that?
It kind of makes you think, if there's 1.5 million in the bank on the books, then why is there volunteers there to hold the TVs? Like, shouldn't we as volunteers get a payment, do you think, for turning up and helping?
Well, right. I spoke to Joey about this, and he told me, right, that they had asked for an X amount of pounds. I think it were like 30,000 or something to go to America or somewhere like that. I don't know what it was. It was just before COVID hit. And when COVID hit, they didn't change that request. They carried on with that request. Now, why? You couldn't go anywhere. There was a lockdown. So there were a few things like that started alarm bells ringing. Why would you can't go anywhere? So why are you still asking for that money? Why are you still bringing that money in? There's lots. And Joey was asked to go down there because the donor is a businessman. He's busy. That's how he earns his money. He's doing stuff. So he said to Joey, right, look, Joey, you know how AV works. You know what they spend the money on. I have no idea why and what they spend on. You go down there, ask them if they can just show me what's going on with everything. Maybe get access to the bank account. Let me have a look at what they're spending on. Because I had a business bank account, and you can share that with your accountant. You can give a link, and you can look at the accounts. Yeah. So unless you're hiding something, why would you not do that? I don't get it. So a lot of people are saying he should have kept his nose out, but what actually happened was he's got the same donor as this person, as AV, as Paul Bashir. He's got the same donor. So this donor asked him as a favour to go down there. So there's a lot of controversy on it, and it's not what it seems at all. It's completely different from what it seems. But to me, if you spend an hour protesting, there's a saying that says, he who protests too much, and it's like, but I don't want to talk. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that because it's like, because why even put that out there as well on video? Why even put that video out? Because all that is going to do is just divide the movement anyway. Yeah. They couldn't gain anything. They wouldn't get more people saying, oh, here's $1.5 million for you because you put that video on. That was simply to put Joey down. That's all it was there for, as far as I'm concerned. But that's my opinion.
I think what I want to know, as we're talking about activism, is you've recently changed your YouTube logos.
I was going to mention that.
And I want to know what's going on with the space theme. Yeah. So should we show people the YouTube channel again?
Yeah.
Because I'm really intrigued as to what's going on.
Our thumbnail as the space theme.
Yeah, so that's why we've...
Well, actually, I'm in space now as we speak.
I can zoom in a bit.
Yeah, look at that.
Sorry, I'm
what he's doing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, space theme. So tell us, Dan.
Oh, hang on, we didn't see it then because I didn't even...
Oh, we didn't share it.
I didn't even share it, did I?
Okay.
There. Yes, universal defender of the innocent, planetary defender of the animals. Okay.
So what's the message?
So basically, what it is if people come from another planet to this planet, right, and they see that this planet is occupied by different animals, right? This is what they see. They see all these different animals on the planet, and then they go, "Look at these! What are these long, two-leg walking people doing? They just seem to be going round, fucking killing everything. What? They're killing 75 billion animals. They're pulling trillions of fish from the sea. What are they doing? Why are they doing this? They're not even supposed to eat meat. What are they doing? You know, it's like." There's 6 million of them starving, and they're growing food for a million. That is why I've gone for the space theme, because if you look at this planet from the outside of this planet and look at us lot, you think, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
that's my thinking behind it.
If you think how many people are drinking the breast milk of another species, that to me is weird. Yeah, so they must think we are really weird.
Yeah, really, really, really strange. Why are they doing that? You know?
Yeah. Well.
Oh, good question. Good question.
Because there's quite a few.
There's quite a few.
Well, at first, in the first year, it was pretty tough because there wasn't as much there. Greggs hadn't followed KFC. McDonald's. I think you could get the veggie burger without mayo, and that would be vegan. But it's shit food anyway. So what I would do if I was too lazy to bring food with me, what I would do I'll go into the supermarket, buy a tub of hummus, buy the pre-cut carrot sticks, celery, anything I could snap off, and buy a pack of olives. There was lots of stuff. Once you know what to do, you know, buy a punnet of apples, buy a punnet of peaches. There's lots of food. Bananas. There's loads of food you can, once you start thinking, there's loads of food you can get on the go. If I was somewhere where I wasn't near a supermarket and I was starving, I'd go into a shop and I'd buy some salted peanuts, dry roasted peanuts.
I love them.
Apples, you know, you can fill your stomach up. And worst comes to the worst, just drink a shitload of water.
Yeah. Definitely.
I just want to say evening, vegan programmer.
Hello.
Hello, Carl. How are you, buddy?
It's just going to the joint household. Oh, yeah.
So vegan programmer's the one who designed your new logo.
Yeah. If you want anything programming, if you want websites, artwork, anything to do with branding or anything, go to Vegan Programmer. He is absolutely brilliant, and he doesn't charge like an idiot. He'll have a chat with you, find out your situation, and he will adapt everything to your pocket, to your budget. So go and see him. Give him a shout.
And he's on Instagram, isn't he?
He's on Instagram. Just look for Vegan Programmer on Instagram.
So here's a question.
No, because she's, how can we say, she's not, I have mentioned it and she says, no, you're stupid. I said, I've even said that's Peppa Pig, and he said, no, Grandad, you're stupid. No, that doesn't happen. No, that doesn't happen. So, no, I don't think she's at that age yet to understand.
I don't think she would be. I think it's when they get to about 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
Understanding. Hello, Muddy Paws.
Hello, Muddy Paws. Get those paws cleaned. They'll be putting paw marks all over the carpet.
Anti-vegan nonsense, guys. Just put him up a second. There he is.
Hang on.
I just want to say, before you answer his question, Dan, those of you who have not seen Anti-Vegan Nonsense YouTube channel, go and watch his channel. Honestly, hilarious. Just if you need a laugh, go and watch his channel. It's brilliant. Go and check him out. Definitely.
I should do it, actually. I should launch one. I'm going to make one, and I'm probably going to have to make a visit to Ann Summers and all that to get all the bits and bats necessary for Producing my farm animal toy line. Oh my god, yeah. Big knives like that. Little sort of electric baths. You put a battery on it and it makes a zzz sound as you drag the chickens through and electrocute them before you cut the throats open. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Little squirty thing on for blood to go all over your face when you slash open the cow's throat and everything.
Have you seen that new advert? I think it was Peter about Old MacDonald.
No.
Yeah, I'll have to send it you. There's a new advert. I'm sure it was Peter who did basically Old MacDonald's farm again, but with graphic images.
Wow.
And at the end.
Do you want to see if I can find it?
Yeah.
Usually they're on YouTube, aren't they? They normally get uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm Easy Vegan's asked a question there, and he said, question to all three of you. What year will the world be vegan?
Wow. To be fair, at some point, this world is not going to exist anymore because of what is going on in this planet. That's my view. So it needs to happen. I was actually having this discussion with somebody the other day, and she was saying, do you actually think the world is going to be vegan one day? And I said, well, something's got to give. You know, we're having all these fires. We're having, COVID-19. Something has got to give. And that's the one thing that could change a lot of things. So in my opinion, it's got to be soon.
I think 2 generations. I think 2035, 2040. I think we're going to see the change then. I really do think.
What about you, Ash? What do you think?
What when the
world's going to go vegan?
Well, it's that tipping point, isn't it? They think is it 12%, 15%? I don't know. Yeah,
I think that's my estimate for the UK. That's my estimate for the UK. I don't know about the world. I think the world is a big ask. I don't think some of the third world countries, not the poor ones, but the sort of middle range ones who do like sort of farm animals a lot, I think, and culturally are sort of too gelled into the cultural sort of believings that I don't think they're going to change too soon. But I think first world countries like America and the UK, I think by 2035, 2040, I think we'll be pretty much there. I think over 50% of the population will be that way inclined, if we're not all dead from a pandemic. Do you know what I heard on the radio today? And this scared the life out of me. I was listening to it. Is the amount of antibiotics being put on the land. And do you know how? Because they've started putting human waste as a fertilizer on land. And we actually imported from, I think it was Norway, something like 40,000 tons of human waste to put on our land, on our crops, to fertilize the crops. But the thing is, right, is the antibiotics that people are taking are manifesting itself in the poop, and that is making its way into the oceans. And they reckon there's resistant antibiotics antibiotic resistant microbes in the ocean right now, and people are ingesting them. They tested surfers down south in Turkey and Newquay, wherever they all surf, and they had signs of these antibiotic resistant bacteria in the guts from the sea. And it's like, and that's without the 85% of antibiotics given to all the animals that they're ingesting through the food.
Yeah. So
it's like, I didn't even realize that antibiotics were seeping into the water courses through our own crap.
It's
scary.
It's grim. No.
That really put the wind up me. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to find the podcast and play that, because that is just like blow my mind. What's the weirdest actor role you have been asked to play?
Oh no!
I did apply to play Adolf Hitler once.
Did you?
I didn't get it. No, I didn't get it. But yeah, I played I played this murderer who had a girl chopped up in a cellar. That was my second ever role. I don't know why I always get like psychos and murderers. Do you?
No.
Do you?
No.
Why do people always pick me as psychos?
Because you're grumpy vegan granddad. You're grumpy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Right.
What's your favourite treat meal? Wow, I've had loads of it. It's got to be a Beyond Burger. I still love the meaty texture taste.
Would you class that as a treat, a burger? But
Yeah.
see, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Or a doner kebab from the Vegan Shack in Manchester. Or even V-Rev. Oh, V-Rev food is amazing. They've got all sorts. They've got cheese-loaded chips. They've got pizzas. They've got tuna. They've got all sorts. They've got every single meal you could, bless you, that you could think of. Yeah. Fast food, dirty vegan food is my favourite treat meal. Oh, and chocolate.
Started him off now.
I don't look about my head.
And chocolate. And Belgian buns as well. I like Belgian buns. Them have just come back to Greg's, by the way.
Okay. Noted. Yeah, I like cake. Treats are my thing. Cake treats. Oh, what's this one here by B? Dan will love that.
God. She's trolling me. Just right, time her out, someone, because she's trolling me. She's trolling me. Every time I do a Q&A.
I can put time out.
Oh.
Stop going with the stale questions.
Right. Smile, Danny, smile.
You don't suit me smiling. I just look weird.
Have you ever seen Carnage?
Carnage.
Yes, it's a TV show. Oh, it's a mad one. It's absolutely crazy. I think did he eat other humans or something like that? It's just Carnage is just crazy. You've got to watch it. It's mad. It's a mad show. It's not for the faint-hearted, not for kids.
Okay. Bedtime watching then, not when.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, shit.
What's this one from Aaron?
I'm going to pop it up because I'm going to read it as well. It's always about why is it health? No one can debunk what we do.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Right. So exactly. So you see, right, veganism has got nothing to do with health. Veganism has got nothing to do with environmental issues. Right? Veganism is about animals, full stop. If you go on a whole foods plant-based diet, it's got some health benefits. If you go vegan or plant-based, it's got some environmental benefits. But veganism isn't about any of those issues. Veganism is about the animals, full stop. And nobody can deny that fact. Nobody can debunk the fact that animals get tortured, murdered, raped, abused. So
I think this is Carnage.
Thank you, Michelle. We'll have to check that out.
Yes, that's it. But yeah, I remember it now. It's not what I thought it was. I was thinking of something else. Do you know I
what?
thought you were timing her out. Right. Why am I against air fryers? Because it's just a hairdryer in a tin box. That's all it is. It's nothing special. Just get an oven.
Oh, no, it is something special. Honestly, you can do a whole cooked breakfast without even having to turn the oven on in like 25 minutes. You've got to wait for the oven to turn on. And you don't have to put any oil on your roast vegetables. You can even put your burgers in there. You can put everything in there. They're great. Really good.
Right, so
I'm not warming to them.
And Harrod's that's the question. I think we did answer this one just a minute ago, but
right, my favorite treats. Oh, treats are different. Treats are sweet, right?
Sweet.
So Belgian buns, 70% chocolate. Any sweets, Grandad. Any sweets whatsoever, Grandad. You know what I'm saying? Any sweets whatsoever. Vegan ice cream and apple pie. and ultimately, what's it called? Vanilla custard, and yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, and yogurts. I love the yogurts as well. I love vegan yogurts. Oh, there's loads. There's loads. Yeah, them are my favourites.
Is there any more questions in here that we've missed? Because we're right down the bottom,
I've been
aren't
going
we?
through them now, and we're at the bottom. Yeah. So what's this from Terry? Veganism is all about the environment and humanity too. It's in the definition.
No, I don't see that. Why is it about the environment? What's it got to do with the environment? It's nothing to do with the environment. It's to do with not exploiting animals, full stop. It does affect the environment proactively if you do become vegan. It's the most efficient way of reducing your harm to the environment is becoming vegan. We know that, but no, veganism is about stopping animal abuse, stopping it, and animal rights. That's my view.
I see it about the animals as well.
Yeah, it is. I think veganism is primarily about the animals, isn't it?
You see, what's happening is the vegan message is getting diluted. Sorry, and yeah, right, okay. So he's saying, right, how can I put it? It's no use talking to someone about the environment when there's pigs being put in gas chambers. It's no use talking about what the effects of. You need to be talking about the pigs in the gas chambers and how to stop them and stop buying products that put these pigs in gas chambers. That's what veganism is about. I can't see anywhere in yeah, it does involve it. It's just put another there. The focus is animal rights, but the scope includes. Yes, it does, but I wouldn't talk to people about environment or health unless I really had to. I would just primarily put it on your money pays for animal abuse, because there's a lot of this going on. Of people sort of like, once you start talking about health, then you start pulling out, like, look at the Avi and Vegan Gains argument about saying you can't say it reverses heart disease because there's no conclusive proof, right? That is just nothing to do with the animals. That's nothing to do with it. I can say eating celery makes you slimmer. There's some evidence here, and I can pull out some evidence and show you the evidence. And someone can pull out an evidence and say, well, I've got alternative evidence here showing the opposite. Yeah, well, that's funded by the meeting. You know, that's where, when you talk about health, that's where that sort of conversation goes. The same with environment. Once you start talking about environment, you start going down this slidey route of, oh yeah, it's not real. Global warming isn't real. It's man-made. It's oil that's causing it. Once you start going down those routes, you're just focusing completely away from the animals, in my view. So yeah, Terry, I do agree to a point with you, but I wouldn't include it in conversations because a lot of people are. I mean, I went on a Facebook post and they were asking, why did you go vegan? And I simply put, you went vegan because you don't want to cause animal abuse anymore. You don't want to hurt animals. You love animals. And I got, no, I went because of my health. I went because I lost loads of weight. I went vegan because I don't want to damage the environment. It's like, apparently AV are the ones trying to reduce veganism to animal right only.
Definition.
Well, yeah, of course they are. That's what it should be. The conversation should be about animal abuse, full stop. Even I'm not part of AV. I've done one AV at the moment, but that's what it should be about. Animal rights, stopping animal abuse.
I was having a conversation with somebody last night in a Facebook group about the definition of veganism. And I don't want to get into a debate about like vaccines or anything like that, but it talks about I can't say it now, where practicable.
I think here it is. Full death.
Thank you, Michelle.
Seeks to exclude, as far as possible and practical, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose.
Yeah, that is the definition, isn't it? And I think it's about being practical. So if you've got to take medication, that you may have to put your health first, and it's, I would say that that's supported in that definition, which is what I was trying to say with somebody last night. But
well, as far as health's concerned, like Aaron's done his brilliant video on I'm He's a Vegan. He's done a great video on I keep saying Beetlejuice. I don't know why. I don't want to say it 3 times. Beetlejuice.
No.
I'll say what. On these beetles that produce the crimson red colour, and he found out that the tablets he's been taking have got this red colouring in. It's a mistake. We all make mistakes. I've made shitloads of mistakes. Absolutely shitloads of mistakes, right? These are made of calf skin. These.
Oh, hang on.
Really?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not going to send them to landfill. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes, and I'm not going to send them to landfill. I'm not going to do that. I'll give them away. I've got some new ones anyway. I've checked them. Them are fine. But what Aaron's got to do now is he's got to weigh up, can I get these tablets without this dying? What's the dye for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So can he get them tablets? Can he write to somebody? Once he's exhausted all those other avenues, he's then got to ask himself, do I need the medication? Is there any other medication I can use? Once he's exhausted that, and it's a danger to his life if he doesn't take the medication, take the medication.
Yeah.
I agree to some extent there, Terry, because we went to an AV.
Yeah, we've done one.
We went to an AV and we watched the training video or whatever it is that you watch, and yeah, I do agree to some extent on that. Right.
Okay. So Terry, right, I do understand what you mean now, right?
Yeah. Poor Bashir is trying to, but yeah, AV are primarily a animal rights group.
If I'm talking to someone on the street on behalf of AV, right, and I'm having a conversation about the animals and it's going nowhere, and this person, I did it on Veganville, right? This kid was talking to me and he basically said to me, I don't give a shit about animals. So I said to him, are you thinking of having any kids in the future? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so when that kid's like 6 or 7 years old and he or she turns around to you and says, Dad, why have you fucked our planet up? Why the ocean's gone that high? Why is the food so expensive? Why can we not afford to live? Why is everybody starving? What are you going to say to him then? And he said, oh, I never thought of that. So I did use the environment. I'm not saying don't use the environmental argument at all. No, you've got to feel your way through. I agree with you, Terry, on that one. But you've got to get the animal abuse argument first and foremost is what you've got to get there. The minute they say, I don't give a shit about animals, I don't care, that's when maybe you can branch off. But what I'm saying is it should always be that your work is done once you've told them what their food choices involve. You've done your work then.
I think
and then branch off.
It's like the broader scope was, I get what he meant now. Yeah, but yeah, the animals always have to be in the center.
Yeah, we need to do some more AV.
Yeah, we do.
So what happens with you guys then once Jack? I mean, I've asked this other people before, but what happens when Jack gets to like 14 or 15 and he maybe is going out and about and he's ducking about with his mates and he decides to eat meat? What's going to be your reaction to that?
Depends how old he is, because if he was to come home and say to me, Mum, can I have meat? I would say no.
When you like so.
Because if he was like under an 18-year-old and he's, when he came home asking for a cigarette, then I'm going to say no. If he's going to ask for meat, I'd put that as the same kind of thing.
Right, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying what happens when he goes out with all his mates and then he walks back in through the door with a double cheese bacon burger from McDonald's, half eaten, and going, booyaka, Shan, It's like, I'm with my mates now. I'm like, I'm hip. I want to be in the gangs and, I want to be like my mates, and they're all calling me a pussy for being a vegan. And what's going to be your reaction?
I think, well, first reaction is going to be
Probably
obviously going to be disappointed, but he hasn't been raised to eat animals. So if he's made a decision when he's old enough to make that decision and actually understand everything that is involved with the health, with the planet and the animals, then that's on him as an adult. But he wouldn't be allowed to bring that cheeseburger in the house. He'd have to puke on it, eat it outside, because I won't have animal products in my house. We've agreed on that.
Oh, you look quite fierce, Daniela.
We've agreed on that. But I think Jack is already learning about the animal ethics. He already knows. Even today, he was saying to me about chickens. And he says, I find it sad that the chickens are sad that they get hurt, Mommy. So he understands. And for me, sort of trying to put myself in that situation, because I've been in that situation. When people used to say to my mum, well, what are you going to do when she's a teenager and she wants to rebel and eat meat? Well, I never wanted to, because I understood about the animals. So I don't think that will happen. But if it does, and he's old enough, that's him.
We knew that smoking gave you cancer back in the 70s and 80s. We knew it was proven. It was solid evidence there. Yeah, at 15 years old, I'm like, it's like, look how grown up I am now. Yes. And it's like, so no matter what ethical stance you may bring Jack up on, peer pressure sometimes can override that. But
then when Jack's older, if you think about what is available now, even in McDonald's, there was no Happy Meal when I was a kid. So I had to buy the Happy Meal treat that was 99p and eat a veggie burger.
There was no McDonald's when I was a kid.
Exactly. So
that's how old I am.
Things are going to be different. Things are already good now, so they're going to be better. You can go to KFC and order a vegan burger, so it's going to be better. I think when he's older, the peer pressure will be less because there'll be more on offer. That's what I think. But what about you?
We hope. It might be a for me it might be like a car journey to somewhere, and I'll be like, and son, if you want to buy that, you buy it now and you eat it in front of me and show me. Like a bit like what it was like for me with smoking, where my parents sat me down and were like, right then, son, here's a pack of fags and let me see you smoke.
Yeah.
And then
but again,
you're not gonna do it. You're gonna be like, oh.
But again, it's like anything. It's like the philosophy I had with my kids is like, tell them the dangers. Tell them, look, if you do this, this is going to happen. If it becomes like a habit, you've lost control, whatever. I've talked about drugs, everything. Once you've had that conversation, it's down to their decision. If they make that bad decision, at least my conscience is clear that I've told them the dangers. I've warned them about it. I've told them, don't do it. If they go and do it, then it's their decision, and it's them a lot. I mean, ideally, no, don't do it in the first place. Don't make the mistakes I've done, But again, it's like, as long as you've gone to the trouble to speak to them, I think that's all. As much as you can do, really. You can't follow them around 24/7, No,
and I think things are getting better, and we're meeting more families, so he's going to grow up with other vegan children, which is really important.
Yeah.
So Dan, if that conversation has to come, I will say, okay, well, I think what we need to do first of all is sit down and actually watch a documentary, because if you're going to do that, you need to know what was involved, and I'm scared to show that footage. So I will
definitely.
Yeah, it's a tough one though.
It is a tough one. It is, and it always is when it comes to children and to the best way. Everybody thinks they know the best way. I mean, I find it amazing when you speak to other people, and like you said, when you bring it up a vegan child, they suddenly become health experts, and it's like, well, hold on a minute, you're a health expert, but you've just dropped your kid off at the drive-through to get a what? Where are you getting your B12 from? Where are you getting your vitamin D from? Where are you getting your iodine from? I never even thought about iodine, B12, or any vitamins. I didn't even have any vitamin C. I didn't even eat fruit when I was a meat eater. It's like you never think about your diet when pre-vegan. It's only you only start looking at your diet and looking at vitamins and nutrients because you get told that many times you can't get the nutrients. That's why vegans are so with it when it comes to nutrients and vitamins. Is because we keep getting told we can't have them, we can't get them.
But I think going back to what you said, Dan, about having that education and being educated on what goes on, as vegan parents, you need to have that knowledge in your heads.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that conversation, because you get quite a lot of conversations. Well, yeah, this is where I get my selenium from. This is how I give him this. It's really easy. And it's there. I just pluck it. Yeah,
exactly. And it's repetitiveness as well drums it in. People might say, oh, well, I can't remember all these facts and figures. But if you start being more active and start having conversations with people, you will find that it's soaked in, because it's personal. It's about you. It's about your life. It's about your health. So you do tend to soak it up, even though you're not aware of it. But yeah, it should be taught in schools now. It should be. They teach religion in schools. You know, they teach cooking. Do they still teach cooking in schools and stuff like that? But it should be on the curriculum. It should be. They should teach like.
But they do, don't they? In one
even
way,
even if it's within religious studies.
There's that whole
sort of
thing
like
where they
ethical beliefs they need to do. Yeah, RE.
Well, they raise like a farm animal, don't they? So we're going to raise a pig.
Oh yeah, they do that,
I saw this.
I
think it was last year, and a school had took on a couple of pigs, and the children had to look after them and get involved. And then they were like, "Well, it's going to slaughter now," but they didn't get to see that part. They just saw the looking after it and that happy pig in a nice environment, and then that's it.
It lived a good life,
and they were upset about it. Of course, but why not see the whole thing?
Do you know something on Veganville? When I saw the cereal farmer, the cereal sort of darling of all TV media, and I went to see her. She showed me. I can't remember her name now. Abby Reader, she's called.
She gets everywhere.
Well, the reason she gets everywhere is she's the spokeswoman for the NFU. She's the golden girl for the NFU, because her farm is a medium-sized farm, and during that, she even had an NFU representative behind her off camera all the time while I was there. I got thrown into this, but she had 2 cows that she took round to schools to show them about the dairy industry. Now, they never showed this, so we went round to see these 2 cows. And we were talking about it, and this is how twisted she was, because I said, well, we were talking about the environment, and I said, well, most of the methane comes from like all these animals that are like burping and farting and crapping everywhere. And she said, oh no, methane doesn't cause global warming. And she says methane dissipates after so long, but it's the other gases that cause. And she was just so misinformed. But when we got onto the subject of the 2 cows that she took around schools, I said, so you take these around and you show them what goes on? She went, yeah, we let them stroke the cows and all that. I said, so these cows aren't going to be slaughtered? She went, oh yeah, this one's going to be slaughtered next month. I said, but do you not tell the kids that? She went, no. And then we went to see the calves. So while we were talking about the calves, I said, so what happens to these calves? She went, these are all male. I said, so these are going to be murdered then? She went, no. We send them off to a farm, and all the farmers in the area put the male calves into this field. And I'm like, well, what happens then? Do they just like die of old age? She went, oh, no, we grow them for a while and then they're slaughtered for beef. I'm like, it's just... and I said, do you show the kids when you go around to the schools, do you show the kids like the slaughterhouse footage as well? And I give her all these questions, but none of it made the show, because it wasn't... every one point has to be counted for the BBC, otherwise it's not even. And I was like, bang, 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 and
it all got
so
cut out.
I was a little bit disappointed with the edit on that, but that's BBC for you.
That there is the conditioning, isn't it?
Shows how you can't believe everything you watch on the BBC.
Well,
To a point, you see, yeah, but that's the thing about BC. It's got to be an even. It can't be like that. It's got to be like that.
It was a bit like that Extinction, David Attenborough.
Yeah,
God.
It's like everything they said, you could have went, so yeah, go vegan.
vegan. Yeah, stop
So
eating
yeah,
meat.
go vegan.
Stop drinking dairy. Stop having eggs. Yeah, just stop it. But no,
Yeah.
they can't say that
They can't say it all, no.
because it's the majority they're speaking to.
Mm.
Mate, oh God, no. It just depends what on the age of the child. I think 8+, yeah, maybe. But I do think children should be told the truth to make informed decisions. And it is, I see it, is if you're poisoning your child from a very young age with meat, dairy and eggs unknowingly, then that's fine. But when you know the facts and know that it's full of cholesterol, trans fat, saturated fat, and you're just like lining them up for a very big fall in later life, then it's time to change, really. It's time to change. And I think education's the key. We've really got to start getting into schools now and start getting people educated on this. It's got to be done.
I think
There's no other way around it.
No.
it's got to start with the kids.
Can go back to this one. I don't think McDonald's was around in the UK then. I don't think the Golden Arches had appeared there in the 50s over here.
Yeah, no, no way that Grumpy Grandad. Yeah, I'm 53. But yeah, there was no McDonald's in this country in the 70s. Do you know something? I want to say something about that, right? And during the 70s, right, I was born in 67 and I was going to junior school about 5 years later, so 73, 74 onwards. And I remember there being one fat kid in my school. One. Everybody knew his name.
Oh.
Right? Because he was the only fat kid in the school, you know? So, and we were all like lads. We were all like that. But we ate well. We all ate well. We none of us went without food. We weren't starving. And we got money for sweets. The sweets were bigger then. Mars bars were bigger then. It weren't because we were smaller. They were bigger. They've been reduced in size now because of the sugar laws. Right? So it wasn't sweets that's made people fat. Now, what changed in the 80s, the mid-80s, that suddenly started all these kids getting fat?
Fast food.
Video game.
Cheap meat, full stop. Cheap meat. McDonald's, Burger King, right? We used to go to the Chippy once a week, Friday, Chippy, in my $6 million man slippers because they were the fastest ones I had, right? And I used to like leg it to Chippy in no time, skid round corners like Scooby-Doo. But that was it. That was the only fast food. Yeah, it was the 80s when Macca's appeared.
Hello,
there you go. Yeah. So it's fat. It's meat and this availability of meat on the street corner that has made all these kids fat. Nothing to do with sugar whatsoever. Nothing to do with Coca-Cola. There's not many kids that glug 2-litre bottles of Coca-Cola every day. There's not many. It's all about, I mean, I don't even remember. No, that was it. Chippy, full stop, Chippy. And chips aren't really that bad for you, you know, when you look at it.
Potatoes.
It's fried potatoes, you know.
The oil.
Yeah, the oil maybe.
Chippy and a Wimpy.
Wimpy, yeah, there was Wimpy, Burger King. And when McDonald's, I mean, see that's the thing about McDonald's as well, is like, you're not even, I don't know whether you've ever had, have you ever had a Big Mac, Adam?
Yeah.
He used to eat two.
Two, right, yeah, I used to throw one down. But did you ever taste one without anything on it?
It tastes like cardboard.
It tastes of nothing. And all the sauces are specially made to have more sweetness in, to get that sweet kick. It's all about the cocaine hit again.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything, Vegan King.
They're crap. We made a vegan version of the Big Mac, and it was way better because it filled me up. And
Vegan King is in India, Dan.
Oh, is he in India? Right,
yeah,
mate.
He's brilliant.
Oh, listen, Vegan King, right? The minute McDonald's arrives in India, right, is the minute you're going to see lots of fat Indians waddling about, getting in your way, mate. Believe me. Believe me.
Not that I'm advocating that. Just don't let them. It's like what was that place in is it Japan? Is it the island where all the centurions?
Oh, it's the Okinawans. Yeah.
Were like the best health. You know.
Yeah. Well, they used to have literally a tiny piece of fish or meat with the food, a tiny piece of pork, and they used to eat these sweet potatoes that were purple inside. They were you can get them in England. I've forgotten what they're called, but they're purple inside, and that was a staple diet. Now fast food has come.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now Western diet. Now they're getting the same diseases as us.
Yeah, the graph, first McDonald's opened on the island, and then the graph is just going up, and then living less. I
mean, sod Avi and vegan gains with all this debunking, right? It's there in front of us. Yeah. It's there in front of us. The biggest meat-eating countries in the world are like Europe, UK, US, right? The people who eat the most animal products are in the US. The country with the most fat people are the US. Well, I think it's just there. You don't need medical papers to see this.
No.
I think Mexicans have overtaken them now as the most obese country, but they're the same. They are getting hit by the onslaught of fast food.
Yeah, exactly. Fat makes you fat. I mean, Daddy Ellie, you mentioned video games, right? Right, a sedentary lifestyle doesn't make you fat, right? You can go all your life with it. I used to eat like donuts for breakfast. I used to eat sugar. I used to eat loads of crap, but I never ever put weight on because unbeknown to me, I wasn't ever going above me 2,500 calories a day. You know, I had a fast metabolism, but I never used to exercise. I never used to do any exercise. And I think I automatically just eat enough calories for my body, you know. And as long as you're not eating more calories than you burn, you won't put weight on, no matter what you do. You can sit in your house all day, but if you don't eat any more calories than you're burning, you're not going to put weight on. It's impossible.
No.
But what people don't realize is, like, if you eat like 3 rashers of bacon, right, the equivalent, I could get a pound of sweet potatoes and still not eat as many calories as those 3 rashers of bacon. And this is what I mean. It's like whole food, plant-based diet is the only diet where you can eat as much as you want and you will not put weight on. You will lose weight because you can't eat enough calories on it. You can't eat enough. You can't eat over. It's impossible.
But you get all the nutrients you need from it.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Your body craves, your body makes you hungry sometimes when it wants a particular nutrient. You might be short of something and it'll make you hungry in the hope that you eat the right nutrient. I mean, that diet I was on with Corinne Sutton for 12 months, his diet was specially formulated where I'd get all the nutrients I'd need daily. And then I wouldn't hunger as much because my body's got all the nutrients it needs. All right, it's got less calories than it's used to, but all the nutrients are there. So it just satiated me for that little bit longer because my body wasn't shouting for particular nutrients.
So I'm going to start wrapping it up soon, I think, but I want to just look at a few of these comments from Terry because I've got some ideas for you, Terry. So I think there was another comment after that.
I might go and film it again.
No, there's another comment. I went.
They have
I think it's
babies in store.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So you went to a farm with your child and you saw that. I think a good recommendation would be to visit a farm sanctuary. I wouldn't take Jack to see a regular farm now, knowing what I know now. I wouldn't go to one of these family farms because they're going to serve animals on the menu. So a actual farm sanctuary, and I'm not sure where you are, Terry, but I would check out your local one. They will serve vegan refreshments. You'll get to actually meet the animals and, you know, stroke them. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of, but you get to interact with the animals. So I would do that instead. Then you're creating a better image, and when the children get to interact with the animals, it's better anyway. Instead of,
I mean, look at that. I mean, the mums were panting and looked distressed. Of course they are, because they're living on a farm and they know that when any humans come near, suddenly the kids disappear and get murdered. You know what I mean? Or the friends get taken away. You never see them again. Of course they're going to get worried with people walking around them.
Definitely.
So I think I read this one as well, Aaron, about the Norwegians and the Germans, Nazis. We should call them Nazis because they're not taking their meat away, and then the health started to increase, and people started living longer.
Well, that's what happened in the UK from 1919 when they started rationing in 1939, I think, right up until the 1950s when rationing was still happening. They saw a decrease in heart disease and stroke because people weren't eating as much meat. They were having powdered egg, which isn't as potent as fresh eggs. They were having powdered milk, which isn't as potent as fresh milk, you know. So they noticed a big decline in heart disease during those times as well in the UK. It's obvious. It's like, this is what I keep saying. These medical papers drum it in, but if you just use your common sense and look around at what actually happens, you can see. You know, you can see that it's like, it's obvious. It's in front of you there.
Mm. So this is another thing. Rabbit, when fast food places turn up in the most poor areas, it's kind of like these families have got nowhere else to go to. It's almost like the hand is forced.
Right. I'm assuming D. Rabbit White's in the US.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So Dan,
Yeah.
what's the next plans for Grumpy Vegan Grandad? Is there anything in the pipeline? What can people look forward to?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, at the moment, I can now stream from my phone when I'm out and about, which I couldn't do before. I did one from Tulip the other day, as you probably recall. So maybe when I'm out and about, I'm going to do more live streams from where I am, which is a handy little tool to have. I'm going to try and bring more animal ethics into what I talk about. No, I'm not in the US, but was as a child. Right. I'm going to try and bring more animal ethics, try and expose more stuff. The stuff in the pipeline I can't talk about. That is ongoing at the moment with certain other members of the vegan community, which will manifest itself sometime in the future. Trying to have a think about doing conversations with people in the street and recording it. I'm just trying to keep the content up there and just keep the message going out there, keep things on the boil, try and distract people away from this absolute bullshit going on with AV and Joey and all this stuff. And try and inject a little bit of comedy into it, do a few more sketches, get a bit more entertaining. And obviously, if anything happens sort of like in the acting world, where I get discovered and I'm like... Yeah. Arm in arm with my mate Joaquin Phoenix, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'll just shut my YouTube channel, forget you lot, and I'll be off to Hollywood, living in my mansion. Yeah, I'll probably go
for Christmas.
Eh?
Come and visit you for Christmas, though.
You can do, but I might go carny again as well, just to get more followers. I don't know yet. I might. If my followers stop following me and I need a few more, I might just say, "Oh no, I'm not vegan anymore." You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Like I've said all along, I'm not in it for the YouTube side of it. I'm not in it to be YouTube famous. I'm not in it to make money. I'm not making money. I don't want to make money. I'm not asked. I make money doing my job. I just want to get the message out there. I want to get a non-vegan audience interested in looking what I'm doing. I'm hoping the acting side of things will do that. Collaborations like the one you've just pointed out. So collaborations with other vegans as well to help bring them up. I believe I'm Easy Vegans had an offer from Vegan Gains to sort of collab. So look forward to that one. And you know something, I'd like to say something on that. Vegan Gains, what a guy he is. What an absolute diamond guy he is. Because he doesn't need us. You know what I mean? We're not even in the same country. Yet he will go to the trouble to jump on a stream with the little people and help bring them up. What an absolute diamond guy. I don't give a shit what other people say about him. He's an absolute star. And I think he's a great advocate for the vegan cause.
Definitely. He's got a lot of non-vegan followers as well, hasn't he? So he's
I am. Well, I'm thinking about doing a fans only site as well. I'm only joking.
Oh no. Oh.
No, I'm only joking.
Thank you so much for coming on today. It's
no problem. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Oh, what is that flying past? I thought it was a wasp. Then I was going to
it's
squeal.
Like it's a nymph or whatever they call it.
A nymph, Adam.
Yeah.
Are you doing a fans only site as well? Is there any more nymphs for Adam, please? You do know what a nymph is, don't you, mate?
No, it's one of those little. No, it's a. Oh.
Are you a nymphomaniac?
No. Whatever it is, I don't know. Where's me book?
I don't. Oh, what? Oh, he's going to get his book.
The Skull of Death. Oh God.
No, it wasn't a daddy long legs.
No, I tell you what, this time of year is just like mad for insects. This is when they all start sort of coming around biting. There's one there on my floor. I need to go and stamp on that one there.
Well, listen, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to everybody in the chat as well for all your questions.
Yeah, all the mods.
And have you got any lives this week, Dan, just before we go?
No, I've got a couple of collabs that I'm going to post over the next few days. One with Vegan Pixie Warrior and an absolutely beautiful a proper lentil curry by Sanjini.
Nice.
So she's going to do that for me. I'm off the radar for the weekend, just having a bit of a relaxation weekend, but I will throw those videos up over the coming weekend, and then back to normal next week, where I've got 2 brilliant interviews, one with Double Trouble in LA, which you'll find out later about that, and somebody in Australia as well, who's, Adam might like, seeing that he likes nymphs. I'm joking. But yes, that's all to come.
We've got a live on Saturday, guys, with Zactivist.
Yay, Zactivist, love him.
Yay, that'll be 8 o'clock on Saturday, all being well, as long as the child goes to bed. So thank you for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you Saturday.
Save the animals, save the planet, save yourself. Go vegan, all of you.
Yes.